Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Completionist, the crappy webcam version, which means you're getting this video while I'm continuing to work out west. For this video, guys, what I'm going to do is a couple of days ago I recently got tagged by a really good friend of mine and an excellent YouTuber by the name of Helmeto. And this is a tag video that's been making its rounds, within a lot of people in the YouTube gaming community. And since I won't be getting back home and making my usual videos until the Christmas holidays, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity, to get a video made, since it's been a little over a month since I actually put up any new content on my channel. Now, this tag video, it's basically you answer 3 questions. Now, it's the same 3 questions for everybody. So I didn't think it was fair to Helmeto to make him wait until December for me to finally make this video. So I thought now would be probably a good opportunity to do it. So anyway, the first question is that if money was no object, what is one game you would like to have boxed and complete? Now, this would have been a very hard question for me to answer, a couple of weeks ago. But I don't know if any of you guys are aware. I know some of you are, especially if you're on my Facebook page. But, when I made that video back in August about what video game collectors are truly entitled to, I really had a lot of time to think, about my video game collecting hobby. And it really depresses me, especially for the 8-bit and 16-bit games and the prices people are expecting for them, and to watch people pick up these games and never really interested in playing them. It's more about treating it as a status symbol more than anything else. And I finally decided that when it comes to 8 and 16-bit systems, so we're talking about, the Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, TurboGrafx-16, Nintendo, and Super Nintendo, I finally decided that, I'm going to sell my video game collection for the system 16-bit and below, and make the move towards emulation. Because even though, I work a steady job, I make a pretty good income, but to see the prices of a lot of these games just completely, skyrocket, I finally realized that, for me it's not about, owning the games. For me it's about playing them. It's about, having the chance to play games that I've always wanted to play, but, but I never had the money to do so, especially when these games were released when I was a kid. So what I decided to do is my best friend in real life. For me, he's the ultimate video game collector, and he owns about 2,700 video games. He's only 2 or 3 games away from a fully licensed NES set, minus the stadium events and the World Championship carts and stuff like that. So whatever games that he doesn't own that I own, I'm pretty much selling to him, because I'm envious of his video game collection, but there's really no reason for me and him, and we have another friend that's a part of our group as well. We're kind of like a trifecta, I guess, of 3 really close friends. And there's really no reason, for us to be in competition with one another, with regards to, owning physical carts and stuff like that. And one of the best things of all is that, besides him, there are only 2 other people that he would ever trust with his video games, and that's me and the other guy. So if I wanted to play something on a physical format bad enough, I could easily borrow it from him. So I would basically feel more than comfortable passing the torch on to him and let him hold on to the responsibility of having physical copies of games, especially for the 18 and 16-bit generations, and whatever doubles that he does have, I've pretty much been just getting people's want lists on my Facebook friends group, and eventually I'm just going to do a random raffle, about who's going to get what games, and then I'm just going to sell it to them, because it's not about selling the games for the highest price. For me, when it comes to selling my TurboGrafx 16 stuff uh, and my SNES stuff, I really want it to go to people that are actually going to play them, and not treat them as status symbols or just let them sit on a shelf collecting dust. So I'm in the process of working on that, and I've pretty much given up collecting for the for those two generations, the 18-bit and the 16-bit. And I hope to get the majority of those games sold in the next couple of weeks. I have my best friend working on my game list right now. So after rambling for a little bit, let's go back to the original question. So with regards to owning the game boxed and complete, I'm only interested in collecting disc-based games now, because a lot of disc-based games cannot be emulated properly. And the only cartridge-based stuff I'm going to own is either for the Game Boy Advance or the N64. But I think the two biggest games on my hit list are two JRPGs for the PlayStation 1. Those two games are definitely Breath of Fire 4 and Tales of Destiny. Now, if I had to pick one between the two, it would definitely be Breath of Fire 4. It's not the most high-demand, PlayStation 1 JRPG, but for me, it's always been incredibly hard to find. And it's kind of funny, because with regards to the Breath of Fire series, the Breath of Fire series is one of those series of games, especially the first 4 games in the series. I haven't played Dragon Quarter, and but I do know that a lot of people hate it. But the first 4 games in the series, for a lot of people, it's really hard for them to pick their favorite, because every game in the Breath of Fire series is an enjoyable and beyond solid experience. And I've had the chance to play Breath of Fire 1. I own Breath of Fire 2 on the SNES, but that's eventually going to get sold. So I'll eventually get the GBA version. I own Breath of Fire 3 on the PlayStation, and I'm missing number 4 in Dragon Quarter. And Dragon Quarter's not really that hard to find, but for some reason I've had a hard time trying to find Breath of Fire 4. So that is probably the number 1 game I would like to get boxed and complete. So the second question is what is my favorite potato chip? I love potato chips. I love Doritos. I love Tostitos and salsa. I think my wife honestly hates it because it's bad for you. But my favorite potato chips for the longest time have always been barbecue. I've always enjoyed barbecue ever since I was a kid. And my favorite Doritos are the spicy Doritos or the jalapeno and cheddar, or as Ricky from Trailer Park Boys likes to say, jalapeno. So that's probably my favorite potato chip. And what is the best vacation I've ever had? It's only recently, within the last 3 to 4 years, that I've had the opportunity to travel. I've been down to the States a couple of times. I've been very fortunate to go to the States with my wife at least 3 times. I've been to PAX. I took a road trip down to the States with the guys from Chargeback Forward. I went out to Vancouver twice, for their gaming expo, and I got to meet Johnny, Happy Console Gamer, Rob Man, those kind of guys. But it's really hard for me to pick my favorite holiday. It's definitely gonna come between 2 of them. It's definitely my trip to Vegas with my wife, or my trip to Seattle with my wife. But I think if I had to pick one, I would probably pick the trip to Seattle. The reason why is because we had a lot more days in Seattle. We had 6 days to really enjoy the sights and the sounds. We got to meet one of our really good friends, Joseph. And we finally got to see the city, and we got to do a lot of touristy things and things along those lines. And we went down, what I would consider the perfect time. People say it's the rainy season, but we went down in March. It was nice weather. 15 degrees Celsius, which is literally perfect weather for me. And it was just a really fun trip. You know, we got to go to a lot of places. We went to see Lion King the musical. We went to see, you know, a ton of museums and things along those lines. I had already been to Seattle once before for PAX, but the 4 days we were there, we only really had one day to kind of look around, and the other 3 days, you know, we spent at the convention. And but that's one thing that, you know, my wife and I are going to do at least once a year. You know, we're going to try to take a trip, you know, down to the States at least once a year. We're actually in the process of planning our next vacation, and it's actually one of 4 places. We're either thinking of going to Portland, Oregon, around March or April, San Francisco, the Hollywood area, I guess Hollywood, LA, or Vegas again. And you know, I really hope we eventually get a chance to go back to Vegas, because if we do go to Vegas for a second time, it may not be next year, but it'll definitely be a couple of years down the road, because the first time we went to Vegas, it was only for 4 days, and everything was just in a mad rush. We tried to get as much as we could do in those, you know, 3.5, 4 days, but we never really had much time to relax. So, you know, if we do go to Vegas the second time, we're definitely gonna dedicate 1 day just to relaxing poolside and just really taking time to enjoy ourselves. But basically, we don't know where we're gonna go. You know, we're gonna look into it in the month of October. But it's definitely going to be one of those 4 places. So anyway, guys, we've come to the point in the video now where I have to tag 3 people. And I'm going to try to tag people that haven't made a video in a very long time, you know, some really close friends of mine. And the 3 people that I'm going to tag is, I'm going to tag my friend DinkyDana. I know he's getting addicted to doing his live gameplays on Twitch, so I hope you know, he can find time, you know, to make a video. My really good friend from the Vancouver area, SilverMongoose, even though I know he's really busy with work and things along those lines, but you know, I hope to see more content from the guy, because he does make excellent content. And the last guy I'm going to tag is basically one of my longest YouTube friends. I try to chat to the guy at least once every 2 weeks, and that's my friend Josh, otherwise known as Amisbro. So anyway, guys, Helmeto, I hope I've got this tag video out to you in time, and I hope my answers are satisfactory. Anyway, guys, as I keep saying before, you know, just thanks for showing your support, even though I can't make videos that often. And I do have some plans of making some pretty interesting videos when I get back in December. So anyway, guys, thanks for listening to this, despite the crappy film quality. So anyway, as always, take care, and I wish you nothing but the best. Later.